friends, and welcome to the Saitama Stacker channel. My name's Dean. I'll be your host. I want to let everybody know, if you're watching the videos for the first time, that I only make these videos for entertainment, education, and for community building around the Saitama token. So please do your own research before investing. Lots going on right now. We're going to talk about all of it. I got a really good question from some of the audience that I'm going to try to address today. So let's just jump in, talk about fundamentals, and then we'll get into Saitamask and a few of the things that are going on out there and my view of the sentiments of the community. Okay, our holder count is up to 313,489, an increase of 526 from yesterday. Our market cap back up a little bit today to 2 billion, 14 million. Would still have us ranked number 72 per CoinGecko's ranking system by market cap. Our price, 7045, almost 46 in this example, and it looked like since my show prep, yeah, it's ticked up a little bit, almost a 47. Volume right at 22 million, and the rest of the stats are very interesting because the price and volume are almost the same from one day to the next. So the burn has creeped up a little bit. The burn speedometer would suggest 104 days to burn 1%. That would be about 3.5% per year. And our 10-day moving average burn would be at 5.2. So you look at the tokens burned yesterday, 3.8 trillion. Today, 3.799 trillion. That doesn't seem like a very big difference. I mean, those numbers are almost the same. But probably most of us would be pretty happy to have that extra 1 billion that makes up the difference. Really, it's only a couple of coins would shoot that all the way up. So just very interesting. And the reflections end up being almost identical from yesterday to today as well. Okay, Saitamask launch. Still not out. Most people still not able to access. The Android folks seem to have a little bit better luck. But even a lot of the folks with the Android seem to be having struggles with this. Russell did tweet today, this afternoon, and give us some information. It seems to be in line with the press release that Max dropped yesterday that was available on the saitamatoken.com website. So we'll look at that and then talk about sentiments a little bit, what I'm seeing in the community. So this is the tweet by Russell. This was 2 hours ago. It's 11 p.m. Mountain Time in the United States on November the 12th. Russell's tweet talks to us all saying, hey, he's been in meetings, he's been out traveling, that they've added several measures of security to Saitamask. He cites the fact that other major exchanges have been attacked with similar types of bot attacks, including Binance and Coinbase, and that it has caused some of those to also close for a few days to work these kind of things out. He states that it has nothing to do with the security of the app and that the App Store and Google Play Store gave the development team a 24 to 48 hour time frame to roll out the updates. So we're to keep an eye out for those. He also talks about what's coming on Saitamask, projects that will be listed, and he answered a question that yesterday I made an inference to that I'm glad we have a clarification. And that is, until all of us have Saitamask and we have it up and running and working and we've had a chance to familiarize ourselves, fund the wallet or attach our wallets, Lily will not be launching. There will be a notification 24 to 48 hours ahead of the launch to give everybody a fair shot. They refer to these types of launches as a fair launch. So there's no pre-sale. Nobody gets special access based on who they are or what group they belong to. Fair launch. So that was good news for me because that was a concern. If this doesn't come up and they're really trying to push these projects forward, I don't want to feel like I'm disadvantaged because I'm a Apple user, for instance. But as it would happen, it looks like many people are still struggling. So in terms of sentiments, I got a ton of comments in my video yesterday and I truly appreciate it. I appreciate the professionalism and kindness with which you are all responding. Even people who are negative about the project are being respectful in my comments. Here in the SaitamaStacker app in the Google Play Store, there have been almost 7,000 reviews, averaging 3 stars. As you scroll down or look at the metrics for this, which there used to be a nice graph, but I think since I clicked in to the comments, it's gone. It's almost 50-50, 1 star and 5 star. There's some in the middle, but most are 1 star and 5 star. And so what I noticed is the folks who are giving 1 star reviews, for the most part, are being very respectful and just saying, hey, we feel like this was a flop. We feel like the rollout was poor and we're frustrated. People who are giving it 5-star reviews are largely seeming to base that on their sentiment about Saitama in general. So it isn't that they're having the app working on their phone and they're just loving it. A lot of it has to do with the future. So this is, for instance, this gentleman says, first day initial release works great on my newest Android phone. Older phone has the same flash off described by others. Has to be expected, and the dev team can't possibly account for all old versions on day one. Okay, you look at another 5-star review and it says, I'm giving it 5 stars for now, but I'm still getting a network issue message. So this person, it's not working for them. I still believe in the project. 5 stars for the test, 10 stars when live. So you have a lot of this as you go through. People who are frustrated, people who are very optimistic based on their love of Saitama. Okay, and I'd be the kind of person that would want to give it a 5-star review myself, but objectively speaking right now, I can't even rate something that I don't have in my hand. And I wouldn't rate it 1 star because the rollout isn't the app. The app, once it's functioning, I'll go in and I'll be objective and talk about it. From everything I've seen, if it was functioning fully, it looks incredible. It's a huge step in the right direction from a Coinbase wallet, a MetaMask wallet, and a Trust wallet. But people who are upset, I totally understand. I jumped into a Twitter space last night, and it was after apparently Max did an AMA with the community, people who were in this Twitter space. And if you're not familiar with Twitter spaces, they're essentially a town hall meeting, and anybody can raise their hand and they can grant them the microphone and they can come up, they can ask their question, they can speak their mind. I got into a Twitter space after that and was just observing, and what I saw was some interesting, like visceral hatred, that I would actually consider FUD. It goes beyond, I don't like what's going on, or I'm really frustrated with the project. It's just straight out bashing on the developers. And my attitude towards that has always been, if you don't like a project, if you've lost faith in a project, the best way to express your distrust, I guess, is to sell your tokens and move on. There's 15,000 other projects, and I'm not trying to encourage people to go away, but I prefer a high level of candor, a kinder approach. Even if you have to be honest and say your piece, there's no reason to make it a personal attack on individuals, and in some cases their families that actually extended beyond. So I don't support any of that, and I want to tell you all as my audience how much I appreciate the way that you express yourselves in my comments, because people are so, I guess, honest, and yet, doing it in a respectful way. So thank you for that. All right. I had an interesting question I'm going to take the last few minutes of the video to cover. In one of the last videos, somebody noted, how is it possible that there's X amount of volume, say 20 million, and the market cap moved by 100 million? That doesn't seem like it would work. Like, how can only $20 million flowing in or out of a project make the market cap go up so dramatically? And it has to do with the way price is affected in investments and in cryptocurrencies. So I made a little graphic here, and I'll show you what I mean by that. Okay. So on the left-hand side over here, we have a basic layout for a market for an investment. You have buyers on one side, you have sellers on the other side, and you have a bid and an ask column. Okay. The bid is what the buyers are saying they're willing to pay. And there's always a little bit of an imbalance between what the buyers want to pay and the sellers want to sell for. Sellers want a little more, right? Because they don't want to give it away. And buyers, they want a discount because they don't want to pay too much. And the more efficient the market is and the more buyers and sellers there are, and the faster the transactions are moving, the tighter that difference between the bid and the ask becomes. So they're almost at parity sometimes. Now, as long as you have an equal number of buyers and sellers, for every dollar that's flowing in, a dollar's flowing out, the price will just stay relatively the same. But if you have more buyers than you have sellers, then the only way to get the buyers what they want is to start moving the price up. And as the price goes up, the sellers start saying, I didn't want to sell, but at that price, sure, I'll take some profits. Okay, the reverse could also happen where something happens in the marketplace and people want to sell. More people want to sell than people want to buy. So how do you get the sellers the ability to transact and liquidate their positions? Well, you move the price down. Okay, as the price starts coming down, now you have people on the buy side saying, well, I didn't really want to buy it for, in this case, 0.7 cents. I didn't want to buy it for 70 cents. But for 20 cents, yeah, now I'm a buyer. That looks like a bargain to me because I think maybe it's going to turn back around, or maybe we're at the bottom of the selling cycle. So that's how the price moves. Then the market cap changes because to derive the market cap, you multiply the price by the tokens, whether that's tokens in circulation gives us what's called the market cap. And if we multiply the price by the original token quantity, we get what's called the fully diluted market cap. Okay, that can be demonstrated on CoinMarketCap. So you see fully diluted market cap and the market cap. And over here you see a max supply and a total circulating supply. Now, why is the circulating supply different than the max supply? Because of the burn mechanism. Saitama burned 50% of their tokens right out of the gate and has been systematically burning with every transaction ever since for what amounts now to another 6% and change. 56.14% of the supply is burned as of today. If I were to take this market cap and divide it by the circulating supply, I would get 7 zeros, 4686. And when I divide the fully diluted market cap by the max supply, I get the exact same number. Okay. So why would I choose market cap over the fully diluted market cap? Well, market cap is a little more representative because it is dealing directly with the pool of tokens remaining. And as that pool shrinks, there's less of them essentially to divide into the market cap. The value of them should increase. But for us that are investors, it's going to be easier to double that market cap from 2 billion to 4 billion than it is to take the 4.5 billion and make it 9 billion. In reality, they will move together because they're being divided by different supplies to arrive at the price. But if we were comparing two separate projects, for instance, like if I were to go into the top 100 and I look at one like Bitcoin, that's market cap is 800 billion and Saitama's is 2 billion. Now, that doesn't mean it's cheaper, so it's a better investment. I'm not making that inference, and please do your own research. But what I am saying is, if the markets get hot and both of these people start buying into, it takes a lot less upward pressure on the price to get Saitama from 2 billion to 4 billion than it takes to get Bitcoin from 800 billion to 1.6 trillion. Okay, so that's why a lot of us like these small projects and are willing to deal with the risk and the volatility. Now, Bitcoin is more stable. The chances of it absolutely blowing up and going away is lower than with these new DeFi projects. But that's what we're here for, right? We're trying to create this financial stability in the future. So we're willing to gamble or risk or take a calculated risk on a coin like Saitama in hopes that we can make handsome returns for the future. Okay, so hopefully this discussion makes sense to you. And just remember, you can derive the price of crypto by dividing the market cap by the tokens in circulation, but that's not how the price is determined. Price is determined by buyers and sellers, And then in the reverse fashion, the market cap is determined by multiplying the price by the tokens. So just a quick discussion there. Let's look at the reflections, and I'm going to sign off. So in the last 24 hours, I've received 37,200,000 reflection tokens, bringing my total since November 21st to 2,860,000,000. If you're interested in learning more about how the reflections work, visit the official Saitama website, saitamastacker.com. And in the ecosystem tab, you'll find information about both reflections and the burn, passive income system, and reduced token supply. I hope you're having an amazing day. Fingers crossed we get our Saitamask tomorrow, and then we can all give it an honest review. In the meantime, I wish you the best in patience, health, and happiness. Much love, you guys. Catch up with me soon. We'll watch our Saitama stacks grow together.